Greetings, Captain. We're back with a revamped Sea Smackdown. We'll talk about all kinds of ships, and our players will show off their skills playing them. By the way, you can also show everyone what you're capable of. Just don't forget to send us your replay. The instructions on how to do that correctly can be found via a link in the description of this video. If you succeed in getting on our show, you'll obtain valuable and commemorative rewards. But before you embark on a quest to set new records, watch this video and enjoy the spectacle. The star of today's show is legendary battleship Yamato. Before the arrival of another Japanese ship, Shikishima, Yamato's guns were the biggest of all, not just among the Japanese battleships, but out of all ships in the game. Judge for yourself. The caliber of her guns is 460mm, and Yamato has 9 of them. The maximum damage of an AP shell is 14,800, an HE shell 7,300. In total, one armor-piercing broadside salvo can deal 133,200 damage. One high-explosive salvo, 65,700 damage. Of course, it's very difficult to achieve results like these, but our players do sometimes prove that they know how to deal huge amounts of damage per salvo playing Yamato. An important advantage of large caliber guns is their ability to penetrate armor up to 32mm thick, according to the 14.3 calibers rule. In other words, when you face Yamato, Musashi or Shikishima, don't be surprised if they penetrate your ship's bow and deal damage to your citadel. The next feature of the Japanese battleship's guns is their firing range. Without upgrades, Yamato can fire over a distance of up to 26.6 kilometers. With the second modification of gunfire control system, up to 30.9 kilometers. Moreover, if you equip the spotting aircraft consumable, the Japanese battleship's range of fire will temporarily grow to a record-breaking 37.1 kilometers. Impressive, right? We decided to test the effectiveness of Yamato's incredible firing range in random battles. We gave the following task to a battleship's captain: deal over 100,000 damage and sink at least one ship without moving. And they completed the mission on the first try. We would like to stress, though, that you shouldn't act like this in battles, because a moving battleship in our game can do a lot of useful things: push through a flank, hold off an enemy attack, change positions if necessary, support allied ships, and even capture key areas. As you know, movement is life. That's how Yamato's guns are. Those who make friends with this power will score hundreds of thousands of damage and win countless battles. That's exactly what our player, Full Dragon, from the EU server, will demonstrate right now. From everybody who sent us their replays, they scored the most damage. Well, almost. A few words about the reload of Yamato's guns. The base value, without any upgrades, is 30 seconds. With main battery modification 3, it's 26.4 seconds, an interesting fact. If you assign Yamamoto Isoroku to command your Yamato, obtain the Kraken Unleashed achievement to activate the second Wind Commander talent. Then lose enough hit points to make the Adrenaline Rush skill work at the highest efficiency. Have 4 instances of fire aboard to obtain the maximum bonus of the Furious skill. And finally, have an enemy within the range of your secondary battery to activate the Close Quarters Expert skill. Then the reload time of your main guns will be between 10 and 12 seconds. You won't survive long in such a situation, but what a fantastic result for a battleship. However, even without extreme reloading times, player Cadis Raija from the CIS region was able to sink 8 enemies playing Yamato and earn almost 3,500 base XP. By the way, this player caused the most damage out of all the participants of our show. In addition to her guns, Yamato has a decent arsenal of auxiliary weapons. You can check out the tests of the battleship's secondary battery in the first episode of Rico Chet on our channel. The link to this video can be found in the description. As for anti-aircraft defense, even if you reinforce it with skills and upgrades, you will still need to seek support from your allies from time to time, especially against Tier 10 aircraft carriers. Despite that, Yamato is still capable of earning the AA Defense Expert achievement on her own sometimes. Let's move from guns to armor. Here, Yamato has something to boast as well. Protection of the central part of her hull at the waterline is 410mm. On her ends, it's 32mm. Her deck armor in the central part is 57mm thick. She has a pool of 97,200 hit points. Such armor and HP pool allow Yamato to survive for a long time in battle under a hail of enemy shells, and this will add more and more potential damage to her score. Our player Katsuragi Kai from the NA server scored the most potential damage among all people who sent us their replays. Yamato has decent protection, but this is not a reason to expose her sides, especially at 90-degree angles. By the way, the Japanese battleship has one vulnerability. If a large caliber enemy shell hits the area between the second and first barbets of her bow turrets, there is a high probability that it will penetrate the citadel. Yes, you heard it right. Yamato can not only deal impressive damage to enemies, she can also lose the bulk of her own HP in quite a dramatic manner. A few more words about the defense of this Japanese battleship. More precisely, about her torpedo defense. Yamato has some of the best defense in the game, 55%. And it can be further reinforced up to 62% with the Vigilant skill. We've suggested various skills and upgrades in this video. Based on your own playstyle, you can choose any variant to prepare your ship for battle. We can only recommend the most versatile set of upgrades. You can see it on your screen now. We recommend installing Main Battery Modification 3 in the 6th slot to increase the reload speed, or the Main Battery Director System unique upgrade from the Research Bureau, which reduces shell dispersion by 7%. Don't forget though, that both upgrades slow down the traverse speed of the main battery turrets. As for commander skills, we recommend paying attention to those that are marked with a symbol. However, you can always make your own configuration and reinforce Yamato's secondary battery or AA defences, for example. Yamato is a true legend, both in world naval history and in our game. As our players have demonstrated in this video, this Japanese battleship is capable of deciding the outcome of a battle on her own. In the next episode, we're going to show you how to play destroyer Kagero, and our players will illustrate it with their examples. Let me remind you that the instructions on how to participate and send your replay are in the description under this video. Hurry and like this video. Click the bell icon so as not to miss the next episode and reach for new records. We're waiting for your replays, Captain!